So in this video I'm going to do another demonstration of Vinci Eye mobile phone app. I previously did classic draw mode. Today we're going to do step by step. So in this video you'll need specifically 4 distinct tonal values. These are from the Rembrandt Polycolor set of grey 12. Link in the description if you want some. Something to put your phone on top of. You can use a glass. I'm using a coffee can here. You just plonk it on top like this. Lovely. And you need some drawing paper. I'm using some Winsor Newton pastel paper. And let's begin. So you push step by step, and then you select your image you want to use, either from your gallery or somewhere on your phone. I'm using a picture of my doggy. And you'll see this sort of posterized image of the picture you selected. And at the bottom you can adjust certain parameters. So at the bottom you got different steps. So this indicates how many tonal values you can have. So 2 would be 2 tonal values plus the white of the paper, and you can go all the way up to 10. And you got 10 tonal values. I can't zoom in. So that's 11 distinct values, including the white of the paper. But today we're just going to stick to the 4, which is why I selected these. So we've got a light tone, 2 midtones, and a black, and then you've got the white of the paper. So that's 5 tones overall. And that should be more than ample tonal range for most images, I'd say. Above there you got the brightness control and contrast. So depending on what your image looks like, you can adjust the different parameters of your image so that you get a better balance, if it were. So if you look at the top of her head, I want a little bit more tonal value between the eyes. So I want to quickly demonstrate the difference between using the cutout button or not using the cutout button. So here I have 4 distinct values, and we're selecting 4 steps in our step-by-step rendition. So in this demonstration I use cutout, and what cutout actually does is it separates each of the 4 steps so that none of them overlap. And if you deselect cutout, they overlap each other. So the lightest value and anything darker is included in a layer. Let me show you. So cutout, if we click done, so we got our darkest value is selected, and then our darkest square. If we click next, our darkest square is deselected because we've already done that, and our next value is done, and so forth. Yeah? If we go and deselect cutout, I'll show you what the difference is. So if we deselect cutout and do the same, along the bottom here it starts with the lightest value and superimposes that. So the lightest value plus any darker values are included. And then up from that, the lightest value is not included, but any darker values are, etc. And then you get to the darkest value. This will be good if you're using paper, cutout paper, and for example you mark out this is the lightest tone, and then you cut that shape out. Then the next tone up, you cut that shape out and stick it on top. Cut that shape out, stick it on top, and the darkest tone, cut that shape out, stick it on top. And so you have like a layered effect on bits of paper, for example. That's one way of using it. So I'm just going to draw the head in this particular demonstration. So I'm just going to concentrate on that. So once you're done, click done on the top right here, and it'll open your camera, you see, with a little image overlay. And here at the bottom you can see the 4 tonal values that we selected for, ranging from dark, mid, and light. And it starts by default at the dark value. So just like in the previous videos, we need to adjust our image to fit our paper size in accordance with the camera. So at first, by default, they're both locked together, the camera and the image. And I'll just rotate it round for the purposes of YouTube format layout. And so you can see the whole of the interface. So here you can see my hand underneath with the image overlay. And let's and you can choose which overlay you want to start with. So this one's the darkest one. I can see most of the image in this one, so that helps me a bit. So as I said, I'm just going to be working on just the head, so I need to zoom right in. So I'm going to separate the image and camera lock, click on image to adjust just the image, and I'm going to zoom in using the pinch like you use on your mobile phone. Pinch and zoom and adjust so that the head is in frame. Lock the camera and the image together. So now that when we move, they are locked together, and we can zoom in however we like. You can tell which of the 4 tones you're going to be using at the bottom, because it's got a little orange, in my case, a little orange border around the outside. Before we begin, we need to focus our camera like we did before. So click on the top here, camera, fix focus, and camera to get rid of it. And you can see my pencil now on the paper is in focus, as well as the overlay. And so we're ready to begin. But not quite, because I need to adjust the opacity a bit so I can see my pencil underneath the overlay. And let's begin. So I've sped up the footage here for the sake of remaining interesting, almost. And what you do here is you just draw the outlines. It's up to you how detailed you want to follow the lines. I'm just drawing the rough shapes here as islands, I suppose. And you don't want to confuse these with each other, so you need to, before moving on to the next one, you really need to tone it in using the appropriate tonal value that you've started with. I've started with the lightest tonal value, and I'm going to work darker and darker. So this is the point where I've run out of space, and so I move the base that my phone is standing on, and I click on image to move just the image relative to the camera, and then lock them back in place again once I'm happy. I'm just realigning the image there with the drawing that I already have, and then I can carry on with filling in more of the shapes. And same again, I need to move it a little bit more just so I can get the lower jaw. Once they're locked in place, I can move it around freely without having to move the camera. Alright, and then just finishing this last shape, and that one's complete. So what you do next is you click on next. But that's the last image. So previous in my case, because I started with the lightest, and now I go to value 2 and pick up the next tonal value, that is the second lightest in this case, obviously to match which layer you're doing. And same again, you start filling in the shapes and toning them in. For the second one, I've decided to just sort of scribble in the shapes rather than outlining them and then filling them in afterwards. And just as before, I sped up the footage. Don't forget you can zoom in at any point or scroll around, moving the image around, because your image and your camera are both locked together, so that won't affect it. But if you watch my very first video on this app, using this app, you'll remember that the more you zoom in, the more difficult it is to control your pencil, depending on what scale you're actually drawing at. So the more layers, more tonal values you put down, the more your image will start to make sense, or the shapes will start to make sense as to what they are. Okay, ran out of room again, and then just move the can and then realign my image. I noticed that at this point that the eyes had gone slightly out of alignment, and so I had to realign them at different points when I was doing them, but it's still not too bad. If you're doing a portrait of someone, it's probably more important to get the alignment correct. Okay, on to the darkest tone now. The last one. And that is pretty much it. Just scroll around a little bit, see if there's any more that I've missed. Nope, that's it. So that's pretty much what you'll get if you just scribble using this step-by-step method on this app. As you can see, you don't really have to be an artist in order to draw something that's pretty realistic looking. Obviously, this is a good start to refining your drawing a bit better. Things you could do to improve would be to start blending in some of the different tonal values whilst looking at your reference image. But I hope this helps, gives you some inspiration to draw, or even just start drawing. Just getting something down, getting rid of that block that's stopping you from creating some wonderful artwork. But this is a great way for non-artists to actually get something that looks pretty decent and pretty good. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment, leave a like. It really helps my channel grow, so I can create more of these videos for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.